Are you ready to get your art career rocking? Then let's do it. Sonya Paz here, Rockstar Mentor, episode 17. Let's kick this thing into high gear.
Welcome to the Rockstar Mentor Podcast, the podcast to inspire you and bring the kickstart you need to crush it in the art industry. We'll bring you creative insights, inspiring interviews, valuable resources, and art marketing, along with decades of experience to provide you the strategic approach to unleash your creative talents and rock your inner entrepreneur. Now, your creatively energetic host, Sonya Paz.
Hey there, everybody. Sonya Paz here with the Rockstar Mentor Podcast. We are on episode 17, and I am excited to be able to talk with you today and to bring a little recap of what we've been doing over the last several weeks, starting with episode 000, which was my introduction episode for you about what Rockstar Mentor Podcast is all about. But before we jump right into this exciting episode, I want to shout out to the Brush Guys at thebrushguys.com, who are Jeff and Dave, who own the Brush Guys and have everything brushes from everything creative. So they have brushes for kids, they have brushes for beginners, they have brushes for folks who've been doing this a long time. Not to mention, if you're a makeup artist, they have cosmetic brushes for you as well. So check them out at thebrushguys.com. If you would like to save 5%, make sure you put Rockstar in the promo code section of their website to receive an instant 5% off. Now, if you have been listening from episode 000, which was my introduction episode, then I want to thank you so much for tuning in again and listening up to the 17th episode that we've got going on today. And if you are new to this episode, or if you're new to this podcast and you just started listening and you really aren't sure which episode to start with, of course, I always encourage everyone to start off by listening from the intro to episode 1, 2, 3, and so on. However, I know sometimes the topic can grab your attention and you might want to jump into listening about branding or engaging with customers, or perhaps just learning some techniques on how to lay your booth out or how to interact and engage with your guests who come to see you at your art opening or what have you. This episode today is going to basically be a recap of the main episodes that air typically on Tuesdays. I'm not going to do a big recap on the Fan Mail Friday episodes because those are shorter episodes and those are ones that you can listen to pretty quickly. Well, if you are tuning in right now and you haven't heard my podcast before, then I will just go ahead and give a little introduction that I am Sonya Paz. I am a Northern California artist who has owned my own art galleries, had created my own product line, have built a reputation of helping other people by coaching them and mentoring them, as well as holding workshops at my gallery that will help enable a lot of artists on overcoming fears and getting their work out there and a whole bunch of other stuff. Basically, I've gotten a lot of requests over the last several years asking if I'm going to be doing webinars or if I'm going to be doing any podcasts. And yes, here we are. And I am excited about this. I have so many years of experience doing everything from the marketing to the PR, along with product development, and the list goes on. So my focus on this podcast is to help you as an artist to overcome fears, get your work out there, talk and meet and greet customers. And there is an endless supply of topics for this podcast, probably to keep me busy for quite a while. But what I want to do is just give you a little recap today of what we've been talking about over the last few weeks. So if you are just listening in, you can listen to this podcast, hear what's been going on, and then you can sort of pick and choose the order of how you would like to listen to the programming that I've done since we launched at the end of May. Well, obviously, we had episode 0, which was my introduction episode to announce what I was doing and what my focus was for this podcast, and to tell you a bit about me and my experiences and what qualifies me to be able to coach and mentor you. So episode 1 was, this was a really great, energetic episode, and that had focused on the ultimate meet and greet and meeting the movers and shakers in your area. Now, I'm not going to recap every single episode because I want you to go in and listen to each one individually, but all of us started out as a beginner artist in some place and time. We didn't really just say, hey, I'm going to be an artist, and then boom, you knew everything. The story behind episode 1 is how to meet and greet not only people in your community, but start networking, meet other artists in your community, get to know who your peers are in the art industry, in the art community. And that's what episode focuses on, is meeting your artist friends, making artist friends, creating a network. If there's not a network, create your own. And that's what the beauty is with this whole episode, is that it allows you to make decisions, allows you to cross over to the other side. You don't need to wait around for somebody to create a group for you. You can do this on your own, and you can go out and meet others. And there's some tips and things like that in this episode that will really help you elevate your visibility as an artist in your local area. Now, the next episode, and it's going to seem like I'm skipping an episode because episode 2 is actually Fan Mail Friday, and we're not going to cover those right now. We're going to probably have a Fan Mail Friday recap soon, but right now I'm focusing on the main episodes. So this brings us to episode 3, which was called Brand Sizzle Pop. This great episode was to focus on building your brand by focusing on using your name and how to realize the benefits of making your brand behind your name. In this episode, I also shared with you some stories on how I ended up building my brand and the decisions that I made along that path and that journey of getting my name, Sonya Paz, as a solid brand for my art career moving forward. But not so much the name and using your name, but thinking ahead 17 steps, not to just pick a name that's catchy or something. There's a lot of research involved in it. There's a lot of heart to heart, what your art is about, what you're about. The brand is not just a name. It's not some catchy slogan. It's all about enveloping everything about you, your art, your personality, the flavors, the smells, the look, the feel, all inside the product of your brand. And of course, anything to do with branding ends up being one of my favorite topics. So I encourage you, if you're looking to build your brand and start with moving in that right direction, then this is the perfect episode to start with, to be inspired and just to be energized on where to start with building your brand. Then we move on to episode 5, which is attitude versus gratitude. And this topic, this was one of my favorites too, because this is something that we were going to touch on, attitude versus gratitude, and the element of conducting your demeanor and outlook when you exhibit at outdoor art shows or at a trade show or perhaps at a convention that you might be involved in. And the great thing about this episode was that it just reminds you of what to be on the lookout for when being at a trade show or a convention or art show or what have you, how to maintain your demeanor, how not to be discouraged, how not to be disgruntled, how to network in the workplace of being at a trade show. And there's just so much value in episode 5, everyone, because you might be new to this. You might be new to trade shows, or you might be new to conventions or any type of art show. And if you're somebody who has been doing them a while, then this is a great program. And episode 5 is a great resource because it will remind you how to adjust your attitude and how to get a lot of gratitude from these shows, how to network, and how to just make the time to be a success at these shows. Not to mention that there are about a half a dozen great tips, ideas, tricks, reminders, and adjustments for you on this episode so that you can be successful, be prepared, and be the professional artist that you are. I have heard from a few of you, actually quite a number of folks, that episode 7 has been one of the most highly energized and one of the best podcasts that they have heard on this series so far, because we focused on eliminating the gears of fear. And that is what I like to call just overcoming the obstacles of being afraid in whatever capacity that you might be encountering as an artist. This episode doesn't just go into how I think that you might be able to overcome things. This episode focuses on and proves to you that I have had fears and I have had obstacles and how I overcame them and how I overcame those just in this last year since 2016. I'll share with you. I want you to listen to this episode because I think that it's a true asset to getting over certain things. And if you are slowly overcoming certain obstacles and certain fears, then this will help you really take the leap, take the jump, take the plunge, or whatever you want to call it. Position yourself in a way that you will succeed, that you won't fail. I can help you with this, everybody. Trust me, if I can be on video now and if I can be on audio now, then that's a huge thing. There was no way you asked me a year ago and beyond if I was going to be comfortable doing a podcast. Even though I wanted to, I wasn't sure if I was really comfortable doing it. And especially video, forget about it. There was no way I was going to be on video. And there was no way I was going to be on video in front of a bazillion people. Forget it. Wasn't going to happen. But if I was going to evangelize overcoming fears, I better get over my own soon and I better get over them quick. So I have achieved this. I'm still working on it. I'm doing it. I'm getting it out there. I'm not complaining about it. I'm actually pretty proud of the fact that I've set out to do what I said I was going to do because that's kind of my MO anyway. And if you've listened from episode 1, you'll know that my sass and wit and determination and tenacity certainly overcomes a lot more and really helps drive me into the person and the artist that I want to be. And I want to conquer the world with creation. I want to help inspire others, and I want to help you get through any obstacles and fears that you have. So make sure you listen to that episode because it will truly benefit you. Episode number 9, that was a fun one. That was called Podcasting for Passion. And that was a little bit of a reveal about how I was going to start this podcast and what I was passionate about in doing the podcast. And I also mentioned people who I felt were really inspiring to me on my journey of being a podcaster. And this episode delves into podcasts and individuals who have been inspiring and beneficial to me as a new podcaster. And I talk about what other styles of podcasts are out there. How do they benefit an artist or how do they benefit an individual? What purpose they serve for creative people. And be sure to check that episode out because not only have I noted in the show notes people and resources that I have found to be inspiring to me, and I talk about that in the episode itself. So make sure you tune into that to get the true stories, the true grit on alongside with the Rockstar Mentor podcast, what other podcasts will benefit you as an artist. Episode 11 is another one of my favorites because it focuses on the customer experience. And we're not talking customer service, we're talking the customer experience and how you can build up your essential skills to maintain not only relationships with your customers, but how to have lifelong customers, how to have the know, like, and trust factor with your customers and clients so that they will repeat. They will not only repeat, they will talk to their friends about you, they will give you word of mouth, awesome recommendations, and essentially, everyone, how to turn your customer into one of your best salespeople ever. Episode 13 is Transition the No into a Yes. And this focuses on why do people fold, or actually should say, why do artists fold and get so discouraged after they're told no? I want to let everyone know that there are ways of overcoming that, and don't allow anyone to step on your dream. Overcome the no, turn it into the ultimate yes. Get through the obstacles with a positive mindset that you can control and that you can realize and conquer this with a powerful yes. And it just goes through to reinforce and remind you all that there are naysayers in the world and people that don't get things, they diss on it. When they don't understand something, they stomp on it. When they don't have the patience to try to even understand something, they dismiss it. And this episode it's just a reminder, just gives you a better kick button mindset on how to overcome a lot of that and how to dismiss certain negativities and keep the mindset of being positive with a great attitude and just to keep moving forward. Now we are at episode 15. And as far as the recap goes, this will keep us up to date. And this episode focuses on, yeah, you got it, Pokemon Go and the amazing concept of public art. This episode really isn't about Pokemon, but it does tell a story about how an art box that I did in 2013 is now a Pokemon destination. But what the main focus is to how to approach public art applications, what tools that you can use in order to apply to do public art, how they work, how some of them are structured, what to do, what not to do, how to prepare, and basically just be on the front lines to delve into any public art project that you may be interested in doing in the future. So there you have it, everyone. Just a little recap on what I've been working on over the last few weeks, some of the episodes that I've aired, and this does not include the Fan Mail Friday. We will probably do a recap of that. But what I would like to encourage you to do, if you have not already gone in and started from the very beginning, my episodes aren't that long. They're usually under 30 minutes, and they are packed chock full of great value, not to mention years of experience. And these are things that I have been asked over the last several years that I am presenting to you via podcast here at the Rockstar Mentor podcast, which can be reached at rockstarmentor.com. And also, I have prepared a lot of things for you on the website. Not only can you listen to the podcast via the website under the podcast tab, but I have written up and prepared some freebies for you that you can look under the cool tools section of the website. And if you want to be in a room with other artists, learning, sharing, being part of a really cool artist community, then sign up also on the website for the mastermind group that I have available. And the mastermind group is great because not only can you learn from others, but if you have expertise in an area within the art industry, then you can let others know that and start conversations and connect with others and network as well. It's a really great community, and I hope that you can join us there. Well, that is a wrap, everyone. I want to thank you so much for tuning in. Please have a listen, have a go. If you like any of the podcasts, do subscribe. We are available on iTunes. We're available on Stitcher Radio. We're available on Google Play or Google Music. And of course, you can listen to me via the website at rockstarmentor.com. This is a wrap today, everyone. Thank you so much again for tuning in. I appreciate all of you. I appreciate all the feedback and wonderful comments that you have all sent in, indicating how you felt that these podcasts have really benefited you. If you like, please connect with me. If you would like to have some one-on-one coaching, you can reach me at mentor@rockstarmentor.com. This is Sonya Paz signing off, and have a great rest of the week. Peace out, everyone.